super special show for you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. So this is like legit one of my favorite shows because I get to give you guys enough information for you guys to make some super informed decisions without telling you the punchline, without jumping through to the end. Hello, everyone. I see you guys all checking in. So you guys, it's a snow day here in St. Louis. My kids are home from school. There was 2 inches of snow on the ground yesterday, and they canceled school today. 2 inches of snow yesterday, nothing overnight, and they canceled school today. So it is bonkers. This is winter in the Midwest, but it is what it is. Snowy day. I see lots of snowy days. I think it's raining in Alaska. Feels a little out of place, Brittany, but hey, that's fantastic. All right, so today's topic, the main event. We are talking all things Field of Dreamers. So for this show, we're going to be talking about what is a puzzle mystery quilt. We're going to be reviewing all of the colorways that have been selected for this puzzle mystery quilt. And we're going to be talking about all the new fun, exciting things we're going to do. We, as always, like to do fun and exciting things. And so we've got a few new ones per popular request that we are going to be dropping on you guys today. And we have a new community challenge project. So you're going to want to stay with me because it is all sorts of fun stuff. Ask questions. Give me all sorts of things to talk about because if you are new here and you have a question, please ask. We have an incredible community of people that have answers for you. If you are seasoned, I'm going to keep you guys on your toes today. We're going to have some fun surprises for you. All right. Phyllis, 75 degrees in Florida. That is just cruel and unusual. It is 22 degrees here, man. Woof. All right. Snow day in Ohio. That's the only reason I could join live. Well, fantastic, Kate. I'm glad you have an excuse to join us. All right. So the first thing we want to talk about is what is a puzzle mystery quilt and how is what we do here at Cotton Cuts a little different? So every year for the past 10 years, we have done 2 puzzle mystery quilts a year. We do one in the spring and we do one in the fall. The Field of Dreamers is our latest spring mystery. It will start for everyone in February and it'll happen monthly for 10 consecutive months. And so each month you are going to get a clue either in the mail or in a box. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's going to come to you just like so. It is going to be pre-cut. And so I want to talk a little bit about pre-cut because for us, this is what pre-cut means. Pre-cut means all your triangles, all your squares, and your strips. I know sometimes you get a pre-cut kit and it's actually just 9 inches with the fabric or it's just a 1/4 yard or whatever it is. I want to make sure you guys understand that like for us, like this is what we mean when Cotton Cut says pre-cut. We're going to do all your triangles, all your strips, all your squares. And so everything is literally just sit it next to your sewing machine and you're ready to sew. Our clues are super simple. They always have been. They always will be. It is one side of inventory. Don't zoom in on that. That's actually not Field of Dreamers. That's a different colorway. So for those of you that are wanting to like pinch and don't worry about it, this is not something that's going to be able to help you. This is Under the Sea Clue 3. So it's already off the boat. Inventory on one side. Then it's got all of your stitching instructions on the back. We have all of your pressing instructions. We have pictures. We have words. If you are visual, if you're a reader, it's got it all. This is it. This is as easy as it gets each month. And you're going to take about 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on the complexity of the clue and how distracted you are by kitty cats and children. But it's about an hour a month. And then you put it in a package and you set it aside. So you can, in a given month, make these fun little strips here. You can make some other fun little strips. Sometimes you make triangles. Sometimes you make squares. But you put all of these back in your little bag and you mark it clue 1. And then you get to wait a month. And then the same thing happens again. And then when we all get to the 10th month, we have a big live reveal show. You saw snippets of it as an intro to this video. We bring on some people. We have some guests. We get to have fun. We get to see lots of different colorways. And we get to reveal the quilt to everyone, no matter where you are in the world at the same exact time. We didn't want it to be like some people who lived in a different time zone got it sooner or later, if you got faster email service, blah, 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 blah. Everyone sees the final design at the same time, and then everyone gets to start sewing on it. And then in 10 months, you guys have an amazingly designed quilt that has anywhere from 300 to 600 die-cut pieces in it. 300 to 600 die-cut pieces in it, and you have lovely design. I think I skipped over the coolest part, and that's actually what I'm going to talk about here in a minute, is all the different colorways. So I know with a lot of block of the months and a lot of pre-cut programs, there's 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 colorways, and you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Well, we try to have as many colorways as possible so that way we can have as many different options for you guys as you want. We didn't want it to be like, hey, we're going to give you this and it's got a neon green that you don't really love and you don't really love it in the finished quilt. You guys get to actually pick the fabrics that are going to be in your finished quilt. And today, very shortly, I'm going to tell you which fabrics are more prominent and which fabrics are less prominent. So that way you can be just a little bit more informed in the final design. Let's see here. I'm seeing lots of questions. Oh, good day, guy who sews. Good day. I don't have no Australian accent, Sean. I apologize. Let's see here. I'm seeing, oh gosh, everyone's checking in with Sean. Okay, we are going to be sending the page, yes, Greta, that has the clue 1s, clue 2s, so that way you guys can pinch it. Love the Let It Snow. Yeah, we got Let It Snow hanging out over here because it's snowing in St. Louis. Beginner friendly, straight seams. Yes, that is another thing about the Cotton Cuts PMQ. It's all straight seams. There's no curves. There's no Y seams. It is literally like stitch, press, stitch, press, stitch, press, set aside. And then you're back into it the next month. So it is a lot of fun, you guys. We have over about 4,000 detectives a year do this. And like I said, we're in our 10th year doing it. So it is fantastic. Let's see here. Pre-cut versus pre-cut. We talked about that. One of the reasons why I love it, there's no cutting, there's no guesswork. It's great for all skill levels. We have an incredible community, as you guys are seeing here in these chats. People are super excited and passionate about it. It's fantastic. It's a surprise at the end. One of the things that I love, and I talk about this all the time, is sustainability and waste. The Puzzle Mystery Quilt, you get exactly what you need, no more, no less. So you're not finishing a project and you get to the end and you're a little short and you have to go find something that doesn't work. Or you get to the end and you've got a quarter yard of this and a scrap of this and a pinch of that and a little bit of that. You get exactly what you need. The project is completely self-contained, and when it's done, it's done. So you don't have that scrap that you're holding onto with memories of the quilt that it was, and you don't want to mix it with anything else, or you don't want to have a second quilt with the same fabric. None of that. There's no trash. There's none of that. So I love all of that. It's quick and it's easy. All right. The next design is going to be called Field of Dreamers. And so I want to take a minute to talk about the theme of the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And I know sometimes it can be a little confusing because we've had like Wild West. And so people think like it's all going to be Wild West like fabrics or Wild West in design. And actually what happens is our design partner, Sheila Christensen, comes up with the design. And she makes sure that it's, beginner. She makes sure it meets all the things we just talked about. And then she takes a step back and she looks at the design and what does it inspire her? What does the design kind of sing to her? And that's what she names the quilt. So it's no different than the name of the quilt is what we call the theme. So Field of Dreamers is the name of this actual quilt. And when Sheila was looking at it, it was, really a lot of like a field of possibility, lots of inspiration and hope. It is letting your imagination wander and kind of just being inspired by what is around you. And so I'm going to read it this way because this is what Paula has told me I have to read. So let's go. Think of it this way. Imagine a vast open field where wishes, hopes, and stories swirl like fireflies at dusk. This theme draws from gentle motion, soft whimsy, and a touch of mystique. A place where threads feel like shooting stars and every block becomes a little dream taking shape. So in 10 months before the reveal, I want you guys to play this video and I want you to read that section and see if you can figure out the final design because that actually captures it pretty well. Let's see here. What if you lose or damage a piece? Michelle, that's a fantastic question. I know our community of folks know what to do, but we have a special website, cottoncuts.com/PMQ-support. Go in, type in what you need, and we send you the parts and pieces. It is, I would much rather send you a triangle, square, or whatever you need to get back on track and have you finish the quilt than it end up in a box in a closet and never done. So that is something we will happily do. Greta, I know, is on here. My favorite story about Greta. Her husband ended up throwing away one of her clues and we replaced it because it's fine. Like, I want you guys to finish these projects. We want to get you to done. We definitely want you to make sure that you have quilts that you're going to love and that can be loved by you or other people by the time. Paula should write some poetry. Paula's a poet. She didn't even know it. I love you, Jana. Thank you. Let's see here. 2. Let's see. People are counting. No baseball. Yes. So I know Field of Dreams, right? That is the Kevin Costner movie. Like, if you build it, they will come. This is Field of Dreamers. So it's a little different. As much as Paula wants it to be about baseball because her youngest son is an incredible baseball player, it is Field of Dreamers. So it's more about, and that's why the iconography is the little boy with the sun and the sky and the stars. So definitely Field of Dreamers, not Field of Dreams. They're really tricking me out here. Fly away versus fly away. Field of of Dreams versus Field of Dreamers. It's definitely Dreamers, guys. So Field of Dreamers. Okay. Let's talk about the colorways. I'm going to give you guys the punchline early. I was going to push this piece to the end, but we've got a lot of really cool stuff coming at the end. So we are going to jump right into the colorways, the fabrics, and actually I'm going to tell you guys what's more important and what's less important and get to the good stuff. Because I love the movie Field of Dreams. Yes, Vicki Harper, I love that movie Field of Dreams as well. It's a really good movie. No diss in the movie and no diss in Kevin Costner, because that was peak like Kevin Costner, like all the Prince of Thieves stuff and, you know, Dances with Wolves, right? So it was a good time for him. All right, jump on the colors. Yes. Let's see here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start first and I'm going to show you one colorway. And I'm going to explain how the color wheel is structured for those of you guys that might not have seen this before. So that way, when you're looking at the color wheels, you'll know exactly kind of what each color is and where it will be in the quilt. So we always start at 6 o'clock here on the bottom. And so this image, this fabric that's here on the bottom is going to be your binding fabric. 6 o'clock is always the binding fabric on the quilt. And so this is one of the #1 questions we always get is why is that fabric in there twice? And it's because sometimes we pick binding fabric that's also going to be used in the body of your quilt. So if you see it twice, it's not an error. It just means we're going to use that fabric for the binding. Of course, the color wheel on top doesn't have that. We'll see it as we come up. And then what we do is we go clockwise around. And so go clockwise around. Depending on how the video is inverting for you, that might not look clockwise to you, but it is definitely clockwise for me. And so clockwise here, this is fabric A, B, C, D, E, and F. So I'm actually going to write that on here just so that way you guys can see it. But if you go clockwise around, it is A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, so now that we're all looking at the same thing here, A, B, C, D, E, and F. What I am going to tell you is that A, this fabric here in the A position, is going to be a background blender print. It is meant to just connect everything together. So for most of the colorways, your fabric A is going to be a subtle background print. It's not going to have a high amount of contrast. It is meant to be the connector for all of the other prints. So as you guys can see here, right, this is a cream, right? It's meant to blend everything together in a background fashion. Now, D, Patch 365 is going to capture all of our notes for us. So that way we can make sure we get it in the right place. Okay, so fabric D. I'm going to jump all the way up on our wheel up to D. So up here on the top, our fabric D is going to be an accent blender. So it's not a background, but this is an accent blender. And so it is going to offset the other ones in a higher contrast fashion. So it is meant to play well with the 2 to its left and the 2 to its right. So it is going to be a fabric that is meant to connect all of those colors together. So A is going to be your neutral background. D is going to be an accent blender. And so those fabrics are used the most in the quilt because of how they work with the other colors. Now here's the trick, gang. This one's new. So fabrics B, C, and E and F are all used equally in this design. Not one is used more than another. So B and C, E and F are used almost fairly equally in the rest of the design. So when it comes to them, you need to make sure, like, do they weigh equally to you? And in this design, you can see those are going to work really blend well together. But B and C, E and F are used equally and in similar proportions throughout the quilt. So yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you about the fabrics, guys. That's all I'm going to tell you about which is which and how to think about it. But so let's go through all the color wheels so we can talk about them. And if you see one that you like, please let me know. I would love to engage with that. See one that you might not like, that's totally fine. Ruby, thank you. I like doing that. I like giving you guys just enough information, because say you're looking at this and you really like, you really don't like A, then please don't choose this one, because A is going to be, it's the one that you're not supposed to see. It just kind of sits in the background and helps offset everything else. All right, so this first colorway, this one that I have marked all over, is called Dreamer's Garden. And so this is from Aditya Sitar at Laundry Basket Quilts from Andover. Farmer's Daughter. This is her collection. So for those of you guys that haven't seen these online, this is a very traditional kind of reproduction with that soft blue and the pink. This one is, I know a lot of us would look at this and think it's old. This is going to hit the grand millennial very, very well. So if you're a quilter in your 20s and 30s and you're looking at this and loving it, please, 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 I see you and I hear you and I know that you would love this collection. Okay. Our next one is going to be Awakening. And so this is from Pam Selkirk at Andover. And this one is A Song to Sing. And same thing. So this guy here, our A fabric, is going to be a background blender. This is our accent, meant to connect the two on each side of it together. And these four are going to be used equally. Patch 365 is asking, do we have fabric samples to show? So we do, but we're not going to show them here on this show. They're going to be on Facebook and they're going to be all over the social medias over the next couple of weeks. In fact, they're coming in. We just had 18 boxes delivered today, which I think is 1 or 2 collections. So we have fabric samples. We just don't have them for this show. So I'm going to use the color wheels and walk through them. And so I know I've seen a comment online, and I think that there's some perception that perhaps that these colorways look very similar. In some cases, they're kind of the same kind of color and tone. And so I want to talk about that for half a second. So designer fabric is like clothing, right? It comes and goes and ebbs and trends, right? And so these softer palettes are what is popular now from the fabric design houses. However, all of these finished quilts are going to look very, very, very different. And so when we evaluate the colors, we look at them in the color wheel. We also look at the finished quilts and we lay them all side by side and we look at them in swatches. We look at the fabrics in about 5 or 6 different ways to make sure that they are going to yield drastically different quilts. And so that is something that is one of the hallmarks when we get to the reveal, is that all the quilts look different and different features of the designs pop differently depending on the color choice. So even though these look similar in kind of tone and saturation, very different quilts, because even just looking at this here, fabric F is a different tone than fabric C in each one. And so those subtle fabric choice placements that you guys can't necessarily see at the beginning are going to make a very, very, very different quilt at the end. So make sure that you're picking out fabrics that really sing to you, but understanding that different things are going to pop depending on the different color wheels. All right. Next up, so this one, this one's going to be a fun one. So we've done a colorway like this before, and nobody liked it when we did it. And when we finished it, it was everyone's favorite. And so I'm excited to do this again. So this one is called Pink Moon. This one is Petals and Pewter by Blank Quilting. And so this is a very soft pink and this gray, right? So pink and gray it's a color that color combination is coloring coming back. I wish position 6 was the border fabric. Position 6. So you're saying here, so borders are something, we'll talk about border kits in a minute. What was the colorway name for the first one? So the first one was Dreamer's Garden. Dreamer's Garden. The pink and the gray. Danelle likes this one. Pink Moon. Yes, Pink Moon. This is one of those ones when we're cutting it, we're not sure how it's going to look together, but it is fantastic, you guys. And so again, it's got these pinks and these grays that work together. And there's even these little like baby birds, and they're wearing like necklaces, and they've got, it's really cute, you guys. This one, definitely check it out online if you haven't seen it already. As I said, sometimes we like to pick colorways that get to diverse, right? We want to get to some diversity, right? If you've got perhaps someone who really, really likes blue, if you have a male in your life, I'm sorry that that's gender stereotyping, but in theory, like if you've got someone who loves blue or who does not like floral, right? I feel like in many phases, quilters get stuck in a floral kind of channel. This is definitely going to satisfy that itch if you've got someone who does not want florals but still loves geometric designs. This one's called Dreamscape. And this is from the amazing Libs Elliott. It's from her Amsterdam collection for Andover. And so for this one, she buries a lot of fun things in her designs. And so if you can ever catch an article or a video where she talks about her fabrics, like she's nested Morse code in some of her fabrics before. She's nested some computer code. I like when geek meets fabric and design. Yes, this could make a great Quilt of Valor quilt. This would be fantastic as well. The loom is nice, but afraid of the binding fabric. Okay, so this one, the binding fabric is a stripy fabric. So what you can do is just not use it. I won't tell anyone, I promise. If you don't use the binding fabric, it'll be absolutely okay. If you choose to use other binding fabric, it is absolutely okay. And so binding fabric is one of those ones. We'll give you the 16, 21 inches it comes in your last clue. If you don't like it, then just don't use it. I'm not going to be hurt by that. That fabric can get used for something else. But I am always a big fan of a stripy binding because it makes a really good kind of visual effect on the edge of the quilt. Let's see here. Blue would be great for the son-in-law. Yes, absolutely. Okay, now speaking of diverse color palettes, right? So then we went with the blue and the brown. And so this one is called Illusion. Shell Ramel. We've done a couple of PMQs with Shell Ramel before of Free Spirit. And this is from her Daybreak collection. And this is one of these ones that it's very artist brushstroke, very, very soft in design and element, combining natural elements with hard elements. And this one is fantastic. It makes for a very kind of subtle quilt with not a lot of high contrast in it, but very, very soft with a nice, cool palette. I am going to tell you guys, and this is going to be all over the website when you go to there check out. This collection is delayed from the manufacturer, and it won't be shipping until late February, early March. Now, that is totally fine, right? It's a 10-month program. It is going to be fine if you're just a month or two late to start because you'll catch up in no time at all and be back on track with everyone else. But I did want to tell you this one's going to ship just a little bit later than the rest, just because it's a little delayed from the manufacturer. But good things come to those who wait, right? All right, if we do 2 colorways, can they ship together monthly? So the way that we do that, Carolyn, is if you do more than 1 colorway monthly, is we ship it to you individually. And it's actually, it's a little counterintuitive, but it is less expensive for us to do it that way. It saves everyone money. We can keep our costs down if we ship them to you separately. Now, we've tried to do it before where we combine them together, and it's actually where the highest number of mistakes typically happen because say you've got a large, I'm going to make it up, a large Illusion and a small Dreamscape. Like then we have to put those together. There's extra touches there. There's extra opportunities for error. And we found that it's usually easier to just mail them individually at the highest success rate, and then they make it to you. Let's see here. Illusion will be an amazing soft. Yes, it'll be a nice soft kind of just, it'll all blend together. You'll still see the design. I want to make sure that I'm not misleading you guys. The design will still pop. You'll still see the elements you need to see, but it'll be a softer transition than this next one. It'll definitely be a softer transition than this next one I'm about to show you. Let's see here. Is the way we can get an idea of collections that are less amounts of quilts available. I can't decide between 3, and I might be able to do 2 or 3, but won't know until January or February. So Love Loathingly. So the way that it'll work is signups are going to open on Friday, and we are going to be running and seeing what we sell out of. And we're going to mark them as sold out as we can. And then we're going to start contacting manufacturers and seeing if we can get more fabrics in. And we will let you know if it's sold out for good. Now, there's no way for us to be able to tell you that ahead of time because I have literally no idea what's going to happen the first 30 minutes. I have been surprised. In years past, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the one that people are going to run to. And then 30 minutes later, it's like 4 other colorways that aren't that one. We actually have a betting board here in the shop of which colorway is going to sell out first. And I would say very seldom are we actually right, just because we don't know, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We know what we buy, but we don't know what's going to happen. And so I would say there will definitely still be colors available in January or February. But if there's one you really, really, really like, you got to get on that early because just because you've got to. I can't guarantee I'm going to get more of all of these. Some of them I know I'm going to be able to definitely get more of. Some of them I know for sure not, and I don't want you to have to miss out. So if you're deciding between 2 or 3, take the 2 that you really absolutely positively want and keep the 3rd one and see if it's still available in January or February. Yes, Marina was gone. Savannah, Marina was gone real darn fast last time. Tula, we'll see about Tula. We have a lot of Tula. Did we order an equal amount of each color in the beginning? No. So I know, for example, the Tula Pink is going to sell out. There's a lot of people that are going to love Tula Pink. So I ordered as much as I could from the manufacturer to guarantee that we could ship it on time in month 1. And then there's other colorways that I know I can order more of. And so I ordered a little less of it. And I'm going to see if you guys like it. If you guys like it, then I can go and order a ton more. That actually happened with Atlantis last time. So Atlantis for Under the Sea. I didn't order very much of it because Cafe can be a hit or miss. People love Cafe or they hate Cafe. And Atlantis is going to end up being our largest colorway we've ever had because I could order more of that fabric for forever, because that was Cape that Free Spirit had plenty of stock on. And so you guys bought it quickly and then kept buying it. And so surprise of all surprises, you guys really love that colorway. Atlantis is very beautiful, Patch. That is absolutely true. Okay, let's keep going in the colorways. So as I said, we talked about illusion. It's going to be a nice soft blend and transition. This one, this one's got a lot of contrast in this, gang. Let's see here. So this is called Fairy Tale. It is from Odile, and I'm going to butcher this last name, from Free Spirit. And so it's from the Festival Collection. And so I like this because it's very boho chic. Right. And I know that there's a lot of like Anna Maria. There's a lot of boho chic colorways that are really, really, really hard to get to work for a puzzle mystery quilt. And it's because of scale. Right. By the time we take some of these really big boho giant flowers and die cut them, it's hard to get them to read as the color we want them to read in the mystery quilt. This one has a great scale and a lot of fun colors that are going to work together very nicely in this design. And when we saw it, we jumped on it because it had scale and contrasting colors. But this is very boho chic. If you guys like that, this is your jam. It is Fairy Tale. I have a question on Instagram about shipping to Canada and how we're going to handle duties and tariffs. So we definitely ship to Canada. So we ship internationally. We go to about 18 countries every month. The best way to ship internationally is to get a prepaid box. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. But you get all of your clues in one box. Everything comes to you at one time. Duties and tariffs are handled all in one swoop. And so that is something that once we hand it, you guys are responsible for your duties and tariffs. We do everything we can on our part to make sure we're accurately valuing and making sure the documentation's in place. And for most countries, fabric is exported from the US with a low duty and a low tariff. That is definitely something that's country specific though, and that's something that you guys are able to handle. Now, I'm going to talk at the end about tariffs and their impact on our pricing of our products, but we ship internationally all the time. The easiest is to do it as a prepaid box. That way you get one shipment, one duty, one tariff, but we also do every month ship a single clue to individuals who live all over the world as well. If that works for you, then that's fantastic, but both options are available. I would say in a given mystery, we get probably 30 to 40 people each mystery that live outside the United States. Let's see, if it's out of the US, I'd order the whole box for sure. Yes, Patch, that is absolutely true. I agree. Okay, so this is Fairy Tale, very boho chic here. All right, next we have a batik. And so I like to make sure that it's clear which ones are the batiks, because I know we've got batik lovers and they want to do the batiks every time. And so I want to make sure I'm clear that this one is a batik. And so this one is Serene Bouquet from Robert Kaufman. It is called Lullaby. And so I know that people are like, oh, you always do a purple batik every time. But this one, because of these light blues and this light purple here, it actually is, it visually looks different. And I know that Sean, if he's still hanging out with us, does the purple batik pretty frequently. This one's very different. And it's also Robert Kaufman. So Robert Kaufman batiks have a different heft than some of the other batiks we've traditionally used in this location. But the purple batik is super fantastic. It is great. And I know that this one's going to sell out. But Paula's like, the fabric is amazing. It just arrived today, guys. It's totally hanging out back there. And so this is why they, that everyone loves it. The fabric is beautiful. However, I can tell you only one of these prints is out of stock at Robert Kaufman. And so once it sells out, it's going to be gone. So if you're on the fence about this one, make sure you get there quickly. A question about this one is asking if fabric a yellow or orange. And so it is more pink with a little bit of orange pop, but it is enough for it to be able to blend with the oranges that are also a little, it's very subtle orange. Let's see here. Pastry Queen is her first PMQ was Purple Batiks. This reminds me of Purple Mist from Tree of Life. Similar, very similar, but again, different design. And you can take the same fabrics and do two different designs of your quilts, and it's going to be very different at the end of the day. Let's see here. There's a huge difference in look and finished quilt between large and small of Field of Dreamers. So Sherry, I'll address that question now, because that's another common question. Is there's always two sizes. We're going to talk about that more at the end of a puzzle mystery quilt. There's a small and there's a large. And so sometimes we get asked, is the large just an exploded version of the small? Like, do we have a small and we just increase it 150 times to get to the large? And that's not the case at all. It's not smaller and then exploded. It is actually small, and then we take design elements from the smaller and we add them to the large. Or we take the design elements in the large and subtract them to get to the small. And so I can tell you, bring each color a few seconds up close. Okay, sorry. Okay, here, we'll just do this. And they're also on the website, guys. Okay, so there's that. Now, in this case, this design is not constructed like a lot of the previous PMQs. And I know we talked about it on Flyway, that it wasn't a medallion. It was more squares, blocks on point. This is even more different than that. So this is not going to be a middle, and then we're going to add rows to make it to a large. And so I want to make sure that you guys are, taking a look at that. It's going to be a little different in construction than it has been, but it is also a design that I'm seeing popular on social media. It is a design that is something that it's trendy, and it's something that I have not seen in a long time, but is coming back in a happy way. They're very popular. Bring it up closer. The repeat is very different. That's why I was asking. Hard to tell in the photos. Yes. Love Loathingly. You can also go to Robert Coffin's website and you can blow up that swatch, because we have to, in order, we give you that little archy thing. A lot of people will go directly to the manufacturer's website to see it as well. You're absolutely right. Even more different, upping the game to make it harder to guess. Yes. Well, too many people got Flyway right. I cannot believe the number of correct people. So we got to keep upping our game and iterating. Okay. So this next one is deceptive. And so this one is Lori Holt's typography. Okay. I'm going to try and hold it closer so you guys can see it. And I got about 3 or 4 cameras that I'm trying to balance here. And so this is from the incredible Lori Holt. However, it is not a very traditional Lori Holt print. There's no cookbooks, there's no plates, there's not a lot of the farm style. This is all text print, and it is all the same text print. This is called Dear Diary. And so in this case, it can be like the same print in multiple different colors. We could have done this in solids. We could have done this in grunge. We could have done this in a lot of things. That font gives it a little bit of movement, a little bit of activity, but it's actually a lot more of the colors and how they play together. And this one, you guys, this one's a lot of fun in the finished design, because if you look here, this is going to be your background, and then this is going to be your accent blender, which means that these 2 prints here and these 2 prints here are going to be the ones that are equal and playing throughout. But look how nicely they're going to pop against that white and that orange. What does the writing say on the fabric? That's a fantastic question. I will have someone look at that. You can also go to the Riley Blake website as well. But it's traditional. It looks like it's got graphs and charts and money and symbols and numbers. It seems like it's like Tim Holtz, but like all kind of, compiled together. Yay for the new baby in the family. Yes, this would be a good kind of baby fabric called Dear Diary. Okay, this next one. I have been trying to get into a PMQ since it was released about 1.5 years ago. And when I saw this design has a good amount of balance, and it has a good amount of placement for these fabrics, because they can be very, very, very loud, but they are super fun in this design. So it is called Wonderment. And so this is the Cafe Facet recolorization of Morris & Co. So this is bright meets traditional, and it is fun. You guys, this one it's bright, but we've also brought in some of these darker to kind of tone it down a little bit. This is the Cafe and Morris recolor from Free Spirit Fabrics. And again, this is going to be your background Wonderment, M-E-N-T. Yes, Wonderment. And so this is going to be the background. This is going to be the blender that connects them all together. And these are going to be the kind of guys that are used equally. This is one of these fabrics, and I've been there, you guys. It can be paralyzing because you don't know what to do with these fabrics, right? You see them and you love them, and they're bright and they're fun, and you want them and you want to be able to use them in a project, but you're always afraid that, like, what if it's out of balance? What if it doesn't look great? And this, we've done all that work for you. We know it's going to look great. We've designed it. We put them in the right place. All you have to do is be able to sit and sew each month. And before you know it, you're going to have a beautiful quilt using fabrics that you've always wanted to use, but never been able to use because you're afraid. And that's okay, because I'm going to make this one, and this is going to be fun. So this is Free Spirit, and it's called Wonderment. Okay. The next one is another batik. And so this is the batiks that are from Riley Blake. We've been using more and more batiks from Riley Blake. They launched their batiks about 2 or 3 years ago. Super high quality, super fantastic on delivery, on pricing, all the things that make us happy, and are still able to deliver a high quality batik to you guys. When you look at their catalog, it's starting to rival some of the bigger stores. It is fantastic. This one is called Glimmer. It is their Expressions batiks with some polka pops and some natural earth elements. This one is just bright orange fire fun. I feel like bright orange earth fire fun. That is definitely it. Glimmer. And as you can see, it's these 2 prints here are going to be your background and your accent. And then these guys are going to travel together. This one is if you need something that's like bright, if you've got a summer house, or if you're living in the winter and you want to bring in some nice hot colors, this is going to be the quilt for you. It's all batiks. We love die cutting batiks. They die cut so well. I love stitching with batiks. There's no front, no back. And so this is definitely something for you guys to take a look at, called Glimmer. You know what? I'm going to skip the next one. I'm going to push that one to the bottom of the list because I know it's exciting. All right, the next one. So this is the one making me want to do too. Yes. Can you briefly explain batiks? Okay, Patch. So batiks are they're cotton. They're quilting cotton. However, they are a higher weave fabric than a traditional quilting cotton. And so they are more densely packed. They are also hand dyed in Indonesia using wax relief. So color is applied to the fabric, then wax is applied, then more color is applied, the wax is washed away, more wax is applied, and it's a multiple layer process to get this depth of color and transition that is not traditionally present with the digital print or screen printed fabric. And so it's all handmade, it's all hand washed, that's done out in the sun where they dry. It just gets to a different kind of layer of fabric creating. They make for very durable goods because they have that higher weave. When you're sewing and working with them, you need to have a sharp needle, a sharp rotary cutter, because they are so densely packed. All right. Let's see here. The next one. So we love the name of the collection so much that we kept it as the name of the colorway. And so this is called Thumbelina and the Sewing Fairies. I have to make sure I get the title right the whole time. So it's called Thumbelina and the Sewing Fairies. And so it's from Jennifer Long for Riley Blake. And so in this collection, we've done a quilt in this colorway before, and we really, really liked it. So when I saw all these coordinating fabrics, I know when it says Thumbelina, you can go down like a fairy princess, but it's actually these little cute little thimbles. It's a sewing thimble theme. And so every now and then we want to kind of put in a novelty fabric, but it's hard to do because if we did all the prints and novelties, your eyes might, I don't know, have a seizure. But I do like how we brought these thimbles in just a little bit. But in this collection, this is going to be one to pay attention to. Fabric A is not a cream. Fabric A is not a white. Fabric A is this green. So in this collection, that background fabric is going to be this green color, not a cream color. And then this is going to be the accent color. So notice this one is going to look different. And as you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it looks so similar to all the rest. But by knowing that A and D play differently in the quilt, you know that this finished quilt is going to look very different than everything else. Yes, this was Skippo. Yes, Bobby Moore, this was Skippo for sure. And so here, just so you guys, now that you know what you're looking for, you can see that this is going to be a very different quilt than all the rest. And so it's definitely something to give you pause and consideration. Are you willing to take that risk and do something that does not have a white or a cream in the A position? That's green, it looks blue. And so it's this, so there's the camera issue. Anytime I wear blue, it looks purple. And so definitely take a look online. That'll give you the truest sense of the colors that are in here. But Bobby's correct. It's very close to the Skippo, which is like a bluish greenish with the orange and the yellow. Okay, then this last one. In the spirit of doing things different, I don't think we've ever done a brown quilt before. We've never done brown, like a true straight up brown. We've done brown with like greens and other colors, but we saw this and we could not say no. You know what? I think this one might actually be upside down. Hold up. Yeah, this one I think is upside down. So this is golden. No, maybe it's not upside down. I don't know. Oh yeah, here. Just ignore me. Just keep going. Make sure you're looking at them online. So this is called Golden Hour. The collection is Golden from McCower. And so if you have K-pop Demon Hunter fans in your life, you can get them just call it Golden Hour, because that is the song of the year for the K-pop Demon Hunters. But as you can see, like this is the A and this is the D, right? And so as we look at it, right, again, this is going to be a different quilt because it's brown this time instead of a cream or a light. There was a steampunk brown. We did do Ferris wheel, yes, and funnel cake one year. But this one is definitely, it skews very brown. And so it's very different as well for us. And so I like it. I like the new, I like the different. And then I've saved this one for last because I think Greta is going to love this one a lot. And so this one is Night Glow, everybody. This is Night Glow. This is gray work from the great Tula Pink. Did I miss Night Glow? No, Jackie Hellman, it's right here. Night Glow. And so this is the gray work collection that we are going to do. And of course, sorry guys, that's definitely a cream there, a white in that square. And so this one we chose to use the leopards in the gray work. And so you can see that this one We chose to use one of the leopards as that background print, and we chose to use one of the leopards as the accent print. And so you guys know that these ones are going to be used equally, but these are the ones that are going to be used the most in the quilt, right? And we would be remiss if we used a Tula Pink and didn't actually use the focus prints in most of the quilt. So I know when you look at this, it can be like, but wait, there's only 2 of the animals. Like, is it going to be enough? And based upon everything I've told you, it's probably going to be enough. You'll be able to see the animals and have accent pieces around it that are going to make certain elements pops. Yes, Sandy, we only have 2 batiks this go around. There were only 2 batik collections that really kind of worked with what we were looking for. And so there are only 2 batiks. Wonderment and Night Glow. Grant, fantastic choices, Randy Bishop. Okay, let's see here. So Paula also added this in here. In case you guys are struggling with how to choose your colorway based upon everything I've just shared you, think about your personal aesthetic. If you're giving it as a gift, make sure, what does the recipient's taste? What do they like? Trust your instincts, or just let us choose, which is the segue into our next section. I just wish it was the wolves. I know there was a lot of really good animals. We really liked the way that leopard die cut and how it fit. And so it really, really worked. The Tula Pink option, just not my colors, and no person to gift that colorway to currently. Yes, I get it. And the big cats, I mean, again, when you're looking at die cutting and scale, it's really important to make sure that it stays continuous and reads. Tula Pink did Roar a couple years ago, and there was no way for us to be able to die cut those big dinosaurs and be able to get them to read as a single color in the finished design. Yes, let us pick what? It's coming. Okay, so as we look at Field of Dreamers, our team is adding 3 new things to the mix for this weekend. So these are things you guys have suggested to us. These are things we've wanted to do. And so when you're checking out, make sure that you're aware of all 3 of these new things, because it's new. So the first, Savannah, I think I saw is on here, suggested during our live a mystery colorway option. So for those of you that might be seasoned detectives, or you might be indecisive, or you might just feel like learning something new or going outside your comfort zone, we're going to be offering an option online when you check out, and it's going to be let Cotton Cuts pick your colorway. We're going to ask you a couple of questions, and we're going to say, what colorway would you want to do? What colorway would you never want to do? And then our team is going to pick a colorway for you. You're going to either prepay or you're going to pay monthly, and click the checkout, and surprise, when that box arrives, you're not going to know what's in it. When that clue arrives, you're not going to know what's in it. And so that is going to be an option for this go around for the mystery quilt. And so if you're willing to throw caution into the wind and let lose some control, then let us pick your colorway for you. So that's the first new thing. The second thing, and this is from Diane Sofison, who has been asking for this for roughly 8 years of the 10 years we've been doing this program. We're going to be doing coordinating pillowcase kits. And so we're actually going to take fabrics that are used in the main design of your colorway, and we're going to be offering a pillowcase kit. So you can get 1 pillowcase or you can get 2. This is going to be real standard burrito pillowcases. So it's going to be a main body. It's going to have a sashing, and it's going to have a flange. Blah. It's going to be a main pillowcase. It's going to have a sashing, and it's going to have a flange in fabrics from your colorway. We're going to cut all that out. We're going to cut you the 2/3 of a yard, the 4 inches of strips, and the 9 inches. We're going to do all of that for you. You can get 1 pillowcase or 2, and it'll all be from the same collection. So you won't have to go and find a yard of this and get a yard for 4 inches. We're going to do all that to make it as super easy as possible for you. Let's see here. And then so that's the second new thing we're going to add. So make sure you're looking at the pillowcase kits when you check out. And then the third option is, you guys are, oh my goodness, holy cow. You guys have tons of questions here. Can I pick 1 to 2 colorways and let you won't send? So yes, we are going to look, and we'll make sure we don't send you one that you've already purchased. So say you really want A and you want B and you want the third one to be a surprise. We are not going to send you a duplicate. We just basically need to know, do you want it to be prepaid or monthly, and small or large? And then we'll take care of that. So you can definitely let us pick one. If you let us pick more than one, we will not send you the same colorway twice. All that stuff will get worked out, guys. We want to make sure that, you guys are super happy. And if it does accidentally happen, just let us know. We'll fix it. Mistakes happen, but it is never our intention to do that. Because I also want to make sure that, right, a lot of you guys have multiple emails. And a lot of you guys have married names and maiden names and names of kids on your accounts. And so sometimes mistakes can happen. Definitely not by intention, but we'll fix it. It's never our intention to do that. So pillowcase kits, mystery colorways. Okay, the last one. All right, so if you prepay for your mystery, if you pay it all at once and you get your loving box that's full of all your clues and they're all labeled like Lego kits, and you get it all at once, we have traditionally emailed the clues to you. And we have also created what's called the Cotton Cuts Police Department Evidence Locker, CCPD Evidence Locker. And that's where all the files are stored. So anytime you're doing a mystery with us, all the clues are electronically stored there. You can access it 24/7 and get your clues. We've been asked to see if there's going to be an option for us to actually print the paper and mail it to you. And so this is a fantastic way for if someone, wants to get Happy Mail. Right? I mean, how many times you go to your mailbox and it's all just junk and you just throw it away? It's kind of sad. If you want to get Happy Mail in the mail, we are going to mail that clue to you. If you, for example, don't have access to a printer, printers are becoming dinosaurs. Like they're about to move out. Like who has a printer anymore? Right? And so if you want to print it and have the paper, we will mail it to you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to add on an option for us to print and mail those clues to you each month. They're going to come to you regular first class mail as if it was a letter between friends. I mean, it's a letter between friends. We're going to send you these clues. I think it's $2. I think it's $2 or $2.50. That is definitely something that'll be on the website. So if you would like to add that on, we will happily take care of that for you for our prepaid detectives. All right. Okay. All right. Now we've got all the stuff that we do every time. And so we have the prepay option. And so if you would like to prepay for your entire project up front, we will mail you all the fabric in one lovely delivery that is not going to get lost each month and have to be tracked down. We will definitely still have the prepaid option. That is a fantastic option if you don't want to have to worry about your mail getting lost, if you want to have all of your stuff all at once, if you want to be able to sew immediately as soon as the clue is released. This is a fantastic, it's a good way to just get everything all at once. And I like it because I can keep everything inside of the box. And then it's all together, right? So that we don't have to go get the clean pizza box, or you don't have to go and get a 12x12 snap container. But, and I like that, little things like this, right? So here we put the contents so you can actually put which mystery it is. All right. If you do month to month, can you access the evidence locker? So unfortunately, we cannot do that because month to month detectives, sometimes credit cards expire and you end up dropping off. And so there's no way to take you off the evidence. There's no systems to automatically notify us to take you off the evidence locker. And so we want to make sure that people are continuing with the program. And so we're going to continue to mail those instructions to the month to month detectives. Let's see here. Prepaid is organizing, have to drop for a meeting. Oh, bye, Scrappy Nikki. Definitely catch the rest because we got more stuff coming. Let's see. Printer is dying. I don't want enough to buy another printer. Love the Clue edition. Yes. So all of those things, right? In a world, my husband wants to put our printer on the curb, and I'm like, no, I still print stuff. I'm a paper person. Okay, we'll get back to sizes and pricing in just a minute. Is there a way to get the kit all at once? Yes, Susie, that is the prepaid option. So that we're going to mail you all the fabric, and then each month you'll get the clue electronically or mailed to you. And then that way you get it all at once. At the end of the mystery, once it's revealed, we do quilts in a box. We have some on the website right now. So we have some for Flyaway and for Wild West. If you want to just get everything all at once, all your clues and all your fabric, there's some on the website right now. We also have some left over from our retreats. If you've missed the Sonoma or the New Orleans retreat, we have some leftover mystery quilts from those designs. Don't forget, we've got retreats coming in 2026. Okay, more on that later. We are also going to be doing wide backs. The border kits are going to be the same. So if you want to get coordinating fabrics that are from the same collection as your Puzzle Mystery Quilt for the border, that's going to be an option. We will have oops kits, which are here. And so that is a fat eighth of each of your fabrics. So say you're stitching along and you make a boo-boo, or a dog eats something, or whatever, you can have a fat eighth of fabric. You can cut it and you can keep going. Yes, Patch, those wide backs are awesome. They're going to be up on the website tomorrow, so you can start scoping which wide back you would like. They're 108 inch wide. It's 2 yards for a small quilt, 3 yards for a large quilt. The oops kits are fantastic. I know some people who will buy like 4 and 5 oops kits just so they can have accent fabric to make other things for their quilts. That's fantastic. You do you. Let's see here. We're also going to do the swatch card digitally. So this guy, when you complete your purchase, will have a ton of awesome information. You will get this electronically. Everyone will get this in their Clue 1 or in their prepaid box. You'll have a full color copy. You don't necessarily need to print this, but you will have access to it because inevitably we get the I'm at a retreat and I don't know which fabric is which. This will tell you which fabric is A, B, C, D, and E. Plus also, if you have access to the wheel, you can know now that what I've told you, figure out where it goes. Okay, question on Instagram. How do I order the kits? Okay, so I'm going to say it again. Signups are on Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time at cottoncuts.com/get started. And make sure you set your timer. 7 o'clock is very important. Lonnie says she ordered an Oops kit and forgot she did. Yes, that happens to us. I feel like it's like, you got to keep it in the box, right? We are located in St. Louis, Deb. Thanks so much for checking us out. The Oops kit's like insurance. Will a pillowcase kit show the fabrics in it before purchasing? Yes, they will. Love lovingly. We will get that in there. Oops kit to make pillowcases or extra borders. Yes. So someone is saying this is gold, which is why we try to get it to you as many different ways as possible. Electronically, in the locker, in a hard copy, because it is the key to everything. So we're also doing our group purchase program again. So we've had a couple of groups join us. And so it's a good way to get a discount. If you live in close proximity to a lot of people, a guild, just friends, right? If you live in close proximity, elect a team captain and we will mail all of your kits to that person each month. And then you guys can gather and stitch and sew. And that way you get a little discount. And it makes it easier for us because I think we have a group that's like size 14, Carrie was telling me. There's a group of 14 people that are all going to sew it together. That's fantastic. And so we're going to group all their shipments together and they can all gather and sew. And then that way it's not 13 people have their clues and one is still waiting on the postman to get them theirs and they can't participate. Everyone can participate together if it's all coming together. All right, let's see here. And then we do the wide backs and yeah, all the things. Okay, so let me see. Okay, sizes. So the Puzzle Mystery Quilt is always, always, always the same size. This is something that we've had these sizes since the beginning of time. We're doing with Mystery 5.0, which is one of our partner programs here at Cotton Cuts. We do have variable sizes there. But for Mystery 5.0, it's been 48 by 60 and 72 by 72. So the small 48 by 60 and the large is 72 by 72. Now for our next mystery, the one that's going to be our 20th mystery, Sheila's playing with some dimensions. So we can have a little bit of flexibility and some wiggle room there. But for this one, it is the 48 by 60 and the 72 by 72. If you add border kits onto it, it's going to make it a little bit bigger. And you can also add more borders to it as well. Let's see here. The Guild decided to do a group PMQ. We will be sewing our own PMQ together once a month. Lone Star Quilter, I love it, right? Get your Guild, get a group. It's fantastic. I have the magnetic color wheel on my car. People ask what it is. It's so much fun. Yes, the logo. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, pricing. So I talked about this when we were signing up for Under the Sea. And that Under the Sea, we got all of our fabrics right before all the tariffs took place, right? So we got a bunch of fabric in. We were able to get it at nice reduced shipping, tariff-free. But times have changed, gang. And so the pricing for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt is going to have to go up. Now, it's not going up very much. It's just, it has to go up because our pricing has gone up. Our shipping costs have gone up. A lot of things have gone up. And so for these small, and this is all going to be on the website. So if you miss it, it's absolutely fine. It'll all be on the website before you sign up. So if you prepay for the small, it's going to be $207.50. So about $20.75 a month. And if you do the large, it's going to be $310, about $31 a month. And then if you do month to month, it's a little bit more. It's like $21.75 a month, and the large is $32 a month. So it's all on the website. We had to take the prices up because the fabric has gone up. As you guys know, this is everywhere. I can't go into a quilt shop and not see fabric that's not $14 or $15 a yard. It is the way of the world. If and when that changes, we will bring those prices down, but it is what we've had to do just because we have to. And so I'm sorry about that, guys. I know that can make it some cost prohibitive for some people, but we do try to, do as much as we can. So you'll get a discount if you prepay. Shipping is still free on all of our prepays, right? So if you do this prepay, not only do you get a little discount over month to month, but you also get free shipping. And so that is absolutely fantastic. Melissa, thank you. She's saying it's a small increase and well worth it. I appreciate that. Again, we want to keep our prices as low as possible while still not going out of business because we want as many people to participate as they possibly can. All right. Paula, that's all kind of the big stuff. So let me talk about our last fun thing. Let's see here. Community engagement. So for those of you that were with us for Tree of Life, we did a community tree. And so each week we had this big giant like fabric piece that was a tree, and you guys sent us in leaves, and we actually were able to take pictures and videos, and you mailed us back leaves with your names, and we created this beautiful community tree for Tree of Life. And so we thought Field of Dreamers had a similar kind of community and inspiration and really connectivity theme to it. And so our community engagement is going to be called Let's Stitch the Sky. And so with everyone's Clue 1 and prepaid box, you're going to get a square of fabric, and you're going to be asked to write your name on it and mail it back to us and let us know who inspires you, who lets you dream, who is someone that you would, stitch the sky with. Mail that back to, Paula's like, who's someone you dream about? That's it. You do you. Fair. Like if you want to send us who you dream about, I mean, Brad Pitt can be on my star, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have you guys mail stars back to us, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stitch the sky together and be able to see the Cotton Cuts community and who inspires us and who gets us to dream. So all of that's going to be included in your Clue 1. I know last time when we did the tree, we were mailing those separately, and some people got them and some people didn't. It got lost in all the mail kerfluffle, blah. Okay, so we're not doing that this time. It's going to be in your Clue 1 or your prepaid, and we're going to have the sky, and I'm going to show it, and we're going to take pictures, and we're going to see it grow on the internet together. Did we ever make the tree into the quilt? So we kept it as a backdrop, and we're actually about to hang it in our back room because we have a big enough wall for it. Is Brad Pitt your pass? So Lone Star, I think my husband and I each have 5 people on our list, and Brad Pitt is definitely on my list. So we're just going to keep going on that topic. So yes, so we're going to do a Let's Stitch the Sky. And so we're going to create again, I'm going to read Paula's poetry for those of you that are still with us. We'll create a sparkling galaxy of quilters from around the world, a sky stitch full of hopes, dreams, and creativity. Imagine being part of this collective work of art, knowing that your star is shining alongside stars from detectives in every state and countries across the globe. That's beautiful, right? Be a star with us on our Stitching the Sky. Okay, so to recap everything, signups are on Friday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you are a flyaway detective, if you made it to the end of flyaway with us, you have a day early access, so you can sign up a day early, and you guys can hang out and get your colorways, get signed up. So if you see people posting that they got signed up on Thursday, it's because they just finished a PMQ. That's one of the perks of finishing the PMQ is you get early access to the next one. So they'll sign up on Thursday. Otherwise, everyone else is Friday at 7 a.m. You guys, nothing is ever sold out on that first day. So if you're feeling a lot of FOMO and like, oh my gosh, gray work is going to be gone on Thursday, nothing is ever sold out that day. However, Friday, 28 minutes or so. Gone. Poof. Make sure you guys get there. I'm just checking the comments. Design Derby. So Sandy, our team is still working on Design Derby. If we want to do something like that, I am pretty sure, and I might be a key decision maker in this process, that we're going to go back and do a Flat Nancy, but maybe something a little different this time around. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget, you got to go to get started. You're going to pick your colorway. You're going to pick if you want to prepare month to month. You're going to get all the add-ons that you want or not. That's up to you. You do you. And then complete your sign up. And the first clue is going to ship on February 6th, 2026. Now, if you are prepaying, we will not take any more prepays after February 6th. So if you want to prepay and receive all at once, you have to sign up before then. It is just really hard. It takes one person a day to do one of these if they're doing just one of them. So we want to make sure we get all the prepays before February 6th. So make sure if that's what you're into, you get there quickly. Let's see here. How do we get an invitation? So Gina, if you finish Flyaway, you've received an email. And there's also an insert in your Clue 10 that tells you how to get early access. Did Flyaway already get email with early link? Yes. So those emails have already gone out. They were with your Clue 10 instructions. They were in the insert. And I think you got one this week. So you guys, yes, the emails. Yes, if you were a Flyaway detective, you got the email this morning. So be sure to check your spam. Yeah, Mardi Gras parades. I guess if it's February 6th, the Mardi Gras parades are starting. Mardi Gras must be early this year. You know, I guys love New Orleans. People are saying, yes, they got the email today. So Let's see. We have time for a couple of other quick questions. If there's anything that you guys have burning questions to, you guys, this is always a lot of fun. I love giving you enough information to get the creative juices flowing and make sure that you guys are as informed as possible. If you get stuck on Thursday or Friday, call us, email us, reach out to us, but understand that there's a lot of people calling us, emailing us, and reaching out to us. We will always, always, always help you. We might not just be able to help you within 5 minutes. So we are always going to, I'm frozen. That's fantastic. Let's see here. Am I frozen? Okay. That is it. Happy sewing, everybody. I hope you enjoy the winter weather wherever you are and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye now. And cut. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have so much fun making these, and we hope that you were both delighted and inspired by what you just watched. This video was sponsored by Cotton Cuts. Cotton Cuts is your one stop for all the best fabric and thread memberships. Love fabric? We've got you covered. Love thread? We've got you covered. We get that no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, which is why our memberships are as unique as you. We also have the largest block of the month in the world. Over 4,000 detectives solve our puzzle mystery quilts every year, and you can join them. Simply go to cottoncuts.com to learn more about all the awesome and fun things that we're doing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to make sure you get all of our new fresh content every time it comes out. Thank you so much. Happy sewing, enthusiasts.